So we finally got some April showers to bring those May flowers. Month has been very dry, and we did have those blazing temperatures last week, but now we had a good soaking rain today, and it looks like it might rain again. So we're gonna sow cucumber seeds today, and I had planned on planting some more carrots, some radish, and a few other things outdoors, but because it might just start pouring again, I'm gonna wait. So let's just go right to the cucumbers. So we're gonna plant our cucumbers. This is the homemade pickles cucumber variety. Should be ready to begin harvesting in less than 60 days. So we'll see how well that holds up. As always, gonna start with our homemade potting mix. This is from the Mountain Valley Seed Company, which is also True Leaf Market. I think they have one or two other names that they use too. I only need a couple of cucumber plants, but I'm going to plant 3 seeds in here. And I'll take maybe all 3 if they sprout, or the best 2 out of 3. As I said, I don't need a lot of cucumbers, even though I plan on making pickles. Don't need a lot of them either. And we'll just cover it with our mix, and then we'll water it in. And then we'll label it, and we'll bring it indoors and put it on a heat mat, and then we're going to grow it under grow lights indoors until they're ready to come out. The experience that I had with the cauliflower, I don't want to have certain things growing in the greenhouse now. I'm a little gun shy about that. So we got our cucumbers done. So tomorrow I'll come out and I'll plant out another crop of carrots. And as I said, some radish and maybe 1 or 2 other things will get going. So it's the next day, and it's a gorgeous 60 degrees out with a gentle breeze blowing. So it's a perfect time to plant all these extra vegetables. Just like with the last crop, I'm going to be planting in a barrel, and I've got my garden marker. So I'm just going to mark out the spaces, and then we'll maneuver this around to get more plantings in here. Well, I missed hitting the record button, but you know how to plant seed, and just doing my pinch and press on all the holes so that ultimately the seeds are not covered up all that much. You don't want to plant carrot seeds too deep. And by pinching and pressing and not filling up over the top, you ensure that they're only just slightly covered. What I also like about the pinch and press method is that it does ensure firm contact with the soil. If you recall with the last crop, I put a piece of burlap on it because I had that seed carrot growing there and wasn't able to put my board. But this is the board I use, and I just lay it over the top like this until the carrots start to grow, and then I remove it. We'll follow the progress on these carrots in the weeks to come. One of the great things about radishes is that whether you like to plant them in rows like traditional gardeners, or you want to put them in square foot spaces like I like to do, really, because of their size and speed, you can put a radish planting just about anywhere. What I'm doing here, this is the garden bed that I'm going to be planting my tomatoes in, my Roma tomatoes. And I'm just going to plant a couple of stands in between where the plants will grow, where the tomatoes will grow. And that's because in a little over a month, they should be already ready to harvest. Even though I'll be planting my tomatoes before these are ready to harvest, the two aren't going to interfere with one another. The tomatoes won't be so large that they'll shade out the radishes, and the radishes, when I pull them, won't be disturbing the tomatoes at all. So I just have my cages marked out where I plan on planting my tomatoes, and then just in between them I'm going to be marking out 8 of the French breakfast radish that I'm going to be planting in here, and then I'll plant another of the giant crimson right in here. Again, just because of their size and the speed with which they grow, it's not going to interfere with any of the plants. So being able to just tuck in radishes wherever you've got space in your garden is one of their great benefits. So this is the French breakfast variety. It's a new pack I picked up, and I'm just going to put a seed or two in each of the holes. As I said, I'm going to do the same thing over here for the giant crimson. And again, just pinch and press. We'll just water them in. And then we'll stick a label on them so we remember what we planted. This is the crimson giant, and this is the French breakfast. So in addition to the carrots and radishes, I also did another planting of lettuce, and I'm direct seeding it now in these planters that I got from Dollar Tree, rather than transplanting them in. And a new stand of spinach, the Bloomsdale variety. Only 3 plants in this one. And I've also transplanted the extra rutabaga. This is the original rutabaga that I moved from down at that end of the garden. I transplanted them over amongst their friends and relatives. Could be that because of the size of their neighbors and the cabbage, that these won't grow very big because they'll just get crowded out from the sun. But we'll see how it goes. So another quick one this week, but next week really finishes up our spring planting that we've got. We'll be doing some melons and 1 or 2 other things I forget off the top of my head, but that's what we got at the end of for the end of the month, and also the end of our spring planting season. But it's not going to be too long before we're starting our seeds for the fall garden. Yep, already got to start thinking about fall, and it's only April. But really, beginning in June, that's when we start planting our seeds for a fall garden. So if you want to see what we were doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here, and then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along in the progress on all of our vegetables as we try to grow a supermarket in our own backyard. Okay, thanks for watching.